After a tough workout, the body enters a critical period of recovery, a time when tissues repair, energy stores are replenished, and the nervous system recalibrates. For many, recovery can be the limiting factor in how often and how intensely they can train. While good nutrition, hydration, sleep, and active recovery are all essential components of this process, creatine supplementation has emerged as a powerful ally in speeding up the body's return to baseline. Known primarily for its performance-enhancing effects, creatine also plays a central role in recovery by accelerating ADP regeneration, reducing muscle damage, limiting inflammation, and potentially improving the repair of both muscle and connective tissue. These effects are particularly relevant for athletes, active individuals, and anyone facing physical stress, whether from exercise or physically demanding work. The most immediate benefit of creatine in the recovery process lies in its ability to rapidly restore cellular energy. ADP, or adenosine triphosphate, is the body's energy currency, and it is consumed at high rates during strenuous activity. After a workout, ADP stores are depleted, and the body must quickly restore them to support all aspects of recovery: protein synthesis, glycogen replenishment, immune system activation, and neuromuscular repair. Creatine donates phosphate groups to ADP to reform ADP, acting as a reservoir of energy that the body can tap into immediately. This rapid replenishment allows muscles to return to a functional state more quickly and may reduce the downtime between training sessions. Beyond energy regeneration, creatine also appears to play a role in modulating post-exercise inflammation. Physical stress and muscle contractions, especially those involving eccentric loading, cause microscopic tears in muscle fibers. This damage triggers an inflammatory response, which is necessary for adaptation but can also lead to soreness, stiffness, and fatigue. Creatine has been shown in some studies to reduce levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6, especially in response to repeated bouts of intense activity. By blunting excessive inflammation without impairing necessary tissue signaling, creatine may allow for quicker healing and less discomfort in the hours and days following exertion. Another key recovery benefit of creatine involves its effect on muscle cell hydration. Creatine draws water into muscle cells, increasing intracellular volume and promoting a more anabolic or growth-oriented cellular environment. This cellular swelling is not just a cosmetic effect. It creates conditions favorable for protein synthesis and repair. Well-hydrated muscle cells are also more resilient to damage and better able to clear waste products such as lactate and hydrogen ions, which can accumulate during high-intensity activity and contribute to fatigue and soreness. This osmotic effect supports both structural recovery and improved metabolic balance post-exercise. In addition, creatine may help reduce the loss of muscle protein during recovery. Some studies suggest that creatine supplementation may attenuate muscle breakdown by supporting higher levels of phosphocreatine in the muscle, especially during prolonged or high-volume training. This could be particularly valuable for athletes in endurance sports, those engaging in two-a-day training schedules, or individuals returning to exercise after a layoff, when the risk of overtraining or delayed recovery is highest. Even the nervous system benefits. Heavy lifting, high-intensity interval training, and long-duration exercise don't just fatigue the muscles, they place significant strain on the central nervous system, CNS. Creatine helps restore ADP in nerve tissue as well, potentially supporting quicker recovery of neuromuscular coordination and reducing the feeling of being wiped out or mentally foggy after hard training. Some evidence suggests creatine may even enhance sleep quality when taken consistently, offering further indirect support for recovery, as restorative sleep is where much of physical repair actually happens. It's important to note that creatine's recovery benefits are cumulative and more evident when supplementation is consistent. Unlike fast-acting stimulants or pain relievers, creatine doesn't produce an immediate or noticeable sensation, but it works silently in the background, enabling the body to operate more efficiently at the cellular level. Over time, this translates into reduced soreness, shorter recovery windows, and the ability to train more frequently with less risk of injury or overtraining. While creatine is generally well tolerated, hydration status matters. Because creatine pulls water into muscle cells, it's essential to stay adequately hydrated to prevent any discomfort or cramping. Some users experience slight water retention early on, especially during a loading phase if used, but this typically resolves and does not represent fat gain. For most, a daily dose of 3 to 5 grams is sufficient to saturate muscle stores over a few weeks and maintain steady benefits. In conclusion, creatine is not just a performance supplement. It's a recovery enhancer that works at the intersection of energy metabolism, inflammation control, and muscle repair. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or someone trying to stay active while aging, creatine can help reduce the physical toll of intense activity and support faster, more complete recovery. By improving the body's ability to bounce back, creatine opens the door to more consistent training, fewer setbacks, and better long-term progress. It is quite literally fuel for the comeback.